Hey, welcome to Creepy Culture. This is Jen, and tonight I have Paul from Arizona. He's going to be telling some encounters about UFOs and ghosts. Hi, Paul. Welcome to the podcast.
Hey Jen, thank you for having me. Yeah, I had some stories, which actually the most recent one was only a few months ago. I was driving home from work and I saw these three lights in the sky that looked like they were kind of spiraling and falling at the same time. And I thought, oh, maybe that's like say parachuters or something like that. I had all these ideas of what they could be, but then they zipped away, like just disappeared, um, in a surprising fashion. And I was like, oh, yeah, I don't think that was a parachuter. I don't know what it. I mean, I don't want to assume it was UFOs, but I mean, I couldn't identify them, so literally they are UFOs. But
Right.
yeah, it was the most recent one. But I did. This was years ago, about maybe 20 years ago. I was hanging at a friend's house, and we were just laying in the grass looking up at the stars, and I saw what looked like a fairy serpent, like just wriggling around, like a sidewinder, like wriggling around, like in the sky. This was at night,
Mhm.
and I was like, huh, what? Because I was like, I don't think that would be like say a crashing plane or something. I was like, I don't know what that could be, and I actually looked it up on one, um and there are encounters like that, including one of the old philosophers. I don't remember if it was Aristotle or Plato or something like that, who had seen one. I mean, I think he called it like Ouroboros or something like that. And I even found a YouTube video of one during the day, which was interesting. I had never even heard of this, and then all of a sudden I find all this like other people had seen them. You know,
Mhm.
um, yeah. Um, but as for okay, now those were like not as interesting as the ghost stories I have, because there was this time when I was in the Navy and I was stationed in Connecticut for submarine school, and I lived off base in a house, and that was the most haunted house I had ever lived in. Um, one night one night I was going to bed, and my wife was in the living room, and all of a sudden I see a figure walk into the room, and I could see the figure, and I could hear the footsteps, and I was like, Kayla, is that you? And I hear her from the living room say no, and the figure walks around the bed, uh stands over me, bends down, and I can feel its breath on my cheek, and I instinctively held my breath. Otherwise, I probably would have smelled its breath, but I can feel its breath on my cheek, and I turned the bedside lamp on, and it disappeared. I was like, wow, that was what, one, two, three different senses I experienced this ghost in, and I probably could have smelled it too. The 4 out of 5 of my senses were uh, were involved in this particular ghost, which was the craziest like experience I had, as far as that goes. And yeah, my wife came in at that point. She's like, "Why'd you turn the light on?" I was like, "Cause that wasn't you. That was a ghost that breathed on my face." She's like,
Oh,
"Oh no." Yeah. And that house, like, so many things happen in that house, as far as like one time I was in the bathroom and I hear a voice say, "Oh really?" And I was like, "Oh really, what?" I was asking my wife. She's like, "I thought you said that." I was like, "No." It was like a voice between the two of us, that we both heard and thought was the other person. And in that same house, we um we were watching TV one night, and we wanted to turn the volume up or down or change the channel or something like that, and we were looking for the remote. We're like, oh, and so we looked all over the whole house. So like for 2 weeks we couldn't find the remote. And then all of a sudden one day it was right in front of the TV. I'm like, oh yeah, like we didn't check right in front of the TV. Like it just appeared after 2 weeks of being gone. So like, yeah, they were quite active there.
Yikes.
Yeah, I even pet a ghost dog, which was crazy because like we had a dog, but like we had a dog gate in the bedroom door, and I had gone into the bedroom, and I heard a dog like panting or whatever, so I reached down. It was dark. I reached down and I pet it, and then I went into the living room where my dog was, and I was like, okay, he didn't get through the gate. I went back into the dining room. I mean, I'm sorry, the bedroom, and I turned the light on. There was nothing there. I was like, oh, I just pet a ghost dog. Yeah, that house was crazy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But here in Arizona, I've had so many encounters at various places. I used to work at a haunted house where one night as I was, waiting between guests, I feel this wind go right by me, and I hear a crashing sound. A coffin that was one some of the decoration for the haunted house, like had it was screwed into the wall, but the screws were ripped out, and it fell almost on me. And this thing weighed so many pounds, it would have injured me if not worse. And it fell against the opposite wall and left a hole in the wall, so it fell with some force. When it was leaning back, it was because when it's on display, it's leaning back so that it's leaning against the wall. So the fact that it leaned forward, ripped the screws out, and then hit the other wall with so much force, it left a hole, and there was no one there but me, and I hadn't touched it. So like it was something actually possibly trying to hurt me, which was not the only time that happened, because there are at least two other people in the haunt who said that had happened to them as well, including my wife. She said, oh yeah, that thing tried to kill me. I was like, yeah, I know, me too.
God,
But
that's
yeah,
scary.
yeah, and yeah, there was another house, which is the second most haunted house I'd ever lived in. This house was when I was in college. I shared a house with like 5 other guys to keep rent down. I think my portion of rent was like $120 or something like that. And but this house, like, there were so many goings on. There was a spot in my bedroom right by my bed with where if you were ever on a phone, you can hear 2 different voices. One of them was crying, and saying no, 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 and another voice was saying shut up. And anytime, I mean, this was like the whole time I lived there. Anytime you were on a phone and you stood in that part of the room, you can hear this going on. And I showed it to friends. I was like, you want to hear something creepy? And they'd be like, sure. And I'd like call them, and I'd say, okay, now go into that room, stand by my bed, and they'd be like, oh my God. Yeah. So that was, I don't know if that was an actual ghost or maybe just an imprint. I'm not sure what that was, but yeah. Um,
That
but
is creepy too.
yeah, in that same house, there was an instance where the 6 of us were watching a movie, and so like in the living room, and so the lights were off, and um at some point there was a light that appeared in the middle of the living room. I only saw it as a flash, like kind of like a camera flash, and I saw it as orange, but some of the other guys saw it as blue, and one of them saw it moving about maybe 3 feet through the air. And so like each of us saw something different, as far as like from our perspective what it was doing or whatever, but only 5 of us saw it, and the 6th person, I don't know if he blinked or whatever, like didn't see it. So it was crazy that most of us saw it, and that between us, it was either orange or blue, and it moved or it was stationary. It was just it was weird how different it was for each of us. But yeah, I think that's. I mean, and as I said, I've had so many other experiences. I could be talking all night, but those are the most interesting ones that I had to share.
Well, thank you for sharing them. And I have a question about
Yes.
well, first of all, when you do see something in the sky and it zips off real fast like that, that's usually a UFO because nothing else goes out of sight in the blink of an eye usually. But the second one you saw, can you describe that more just a little bit?
Yeah, it was okay. It was on fire, and it was long like a snake, and it was moving like a snake, like a sidewinder, and it was the night sky, so like it was easily visible. You know what's weird is that my friend, I think she had gone into the house at the time because I said I was laying in the grass with a friend, but she didn't see it. I think she had gone into the house for like a drink or something, and so I was the only one that saw it, and I mean, and I was like rubbing my eyes and whatever to make sure it wasn't just like say, a floaty in my eye or whatever. But no, no matter what I did, it was still there, just wriggling around, and yeah, it was on fire. It was flaming. It was a burning serpent basically in the sky.
Did it like just burn out or did it shoot
No,
off?
I think it kind of it I guess it was moving away from me because it got smaller and then disappeared.
Okay. I
Yeah.
was wondering about that. And then you were talking about that one house you guys lived in with your friends where you could hear voices in a certain spot.
Yes.
I
Yes.
I've had that happen too, but I couldn't understand what they were saying. It just sounded like chatter. Like
Oh.
like distant chatter, like people talking.
Yeah.
Maybe like in a busy place, like just a bunch of people talking. Actually, that happens here in this house.
Oh, wow.
I
Is
know
it consistent?
it's random.
Oh.
And honestly, sometimes you can hear it through the phone. I don't know if it's like interference or what. And then sometimes you can hear it not being on the phone. You can just hear people chattering. It's like chatting. It sounds like a crowded room of people talking all at once.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool that you said that because I've never even told anybody about that till just now. So yeah, I hear that occasionally. It's a real random though. It's not like
Yeah.
all the time or in a certain spot like yours was, but yeah, I do hear it every now and again. I hear it. So that's pretty
Wow.
cool. But yeah.
Yeah.
Um thank you so much for coming on and sharing all that. Um
Oh, definitely.
and you said you were in the Navy?
Yeah. I was
Oh,
on submarines.
are those things did you experience anything in one of those that were creepy?
I did actually.
I
I
know.
saw I saw a lady in a white dress at one point, and actually there were stories of. I saw a black dog too, but there were stories of a little girl who actually. There are records of a girl who had, while the submarine was being constructed, she had fallen. She was visiting her dad, who was one of the like people making the submarine, and she fell down a shaft that like was like I guess before they put in whatever component was supposed to be there, she fell down it and passed away. And people had said that they had seen her on there. I didn't see her, but I saw ghosts that no one else had ever said that they had seen. The lady in the white dress and the dog, like no one had ever said they'd seen that before.
Wow. It seems like
Yeah.
military ships and submarines and stuff like that are always haunted for some reason. That's why I
Oh
asked you.
yeah. Yeah.
So it's a thing with the I don't know. I'm not quite sure why they're always haunted, but it seems like they always are. So
There's always history. I mean, like especially if they've seen battle. You know what? A lot of naval vessels, when they're decommissioned, they become like they get cut up into like razor blades. And it's like you imagine you have a bunch of like shaving razors like haunted or whatever, possibly.
oh, I never thought of that. Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's something, isn't it?
yeah.
Huh. All right. Did you want to share anything else or is that
I think that's it for now.
okay? Well, I really appreciate you reaching out and sharing your encounters and just wanted to say thank you again. And you didn't have any links or anything you wanted to share, right?
No, I don't.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to stop recording, but thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Okay.